In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emmanuel Rose.
Well, welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI. It's great to be here. I'm glad you're going to join us for this insightful episode featuring Justin Kabbani, who's a visionary in digital marketing and AI integration with a wealth of experience. Justin brings a unique perspective on harnessing technology to create authentic connection in today's marketing landscape. Hopefully, he's going to share some strategies and specific tactics that empower businesses to thrive amidst the rapid advancements in AI, focusing on real-world applications that drive results. Tune in as we explore how to navigate the complexities of AI-driven marketing and foster genuine engagement with our audiences. Justin, thank you so much for taking time to have a conversation with me.
Awesome to be here with you. Bright and early here in the morning. It's summer over in Australia.
Well, you're in a great spot, and it's a good time of the year to be there.
For sure.
Probably hot though.
Although I'm sure it's always summer in Reno, right?
Well, I know. Luckily, it's not, because it's like 110 Fahrenheit in the summertime. So that high desert, man, we have to go to the coast to get out of that. So
very good.
Well, I love what you're doing, and I love that you started out as being very focused on ChatGPT, and then what happened that you brought in some of these other GPTs into your purview?
Yeah, amazing. Just a very quick background for me. I built a thriving agency called Hard Hat. We had a team of 45. We're working with some of the biggest national, international brands. But I felt a little restless in 2022, and I exited that business, sold my share to my partner, which at first was liberating, and then it became very lonely. Fortunately for me, 6 weeks after I exited, Sam Altman gave me the ultimate birthday present, because ChatGPT was launched on my birthday, and I started dabbling with that. At the same time, I'm really passionate about human potential, human creativity. And I found myself at this kind of crossroads of which way am I going to go? Am I for the humans or am I for the bots? And it seems kind of obvious now, but I had this navel gazing moment where I realized, no, I'm here to give the robotic tasks to the robots so that we can be more human. And once that dawned on me, I thought, damn, I got 3 months to train the whole world, because everyone's going to see this stuff and they're not going to live without it, you know? And here I am 18 months later, and it's well, I've still got a business training people. So it took a little longer, but I went all in on it. So I do, from individual coaching through to public workshops, through to a deep 3-day AI-powered marketer program. Yeah, awesome. And look, so ChatGPT, I said to you before that we started this chat, is my one true love. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of platforms out there, but if you're going to learn and master one thing, I'd say stick with the market leader. Stick with the one that's really pushed the boundaries, but also is answering your IP protection, your data privacy, all these kind of things.
Yeah, I think that's a critical thing. It's interesting. Even in the U.S., our adoption rates are only about 40%, and people over about 46 are the lowest adopters of the AI tools. So it's the Gen X are the ones who are not using it. Everybody else around them is. So I think it's interesting, because I'm part of that generation, and I'm kind of where you are, where I said, wow, this is such an amazing tool. Just AI in general, how we apply it to our daily professional life is phenomenal. and I want to use it as a lever to do less work that I hate and don't want to participate in, and have more time to go spend time with my family and friends.
Yeah. Look, I think that those stats are really interesting, right? Because I think I saw a thing, Social Media Examiner last week, 65% of marketers now using AI weekly, and those that are, and then it goes on to say, like, those that are leveraging it effectively, seeing a 30% productivity gain. Like, I always like find it weird, don't you, when you see like 30% productivity? Like my Project Zero, the very first project that I used it on, like, I delivered that 40 times faster. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, if people are only getting 30% productivity gain, then it's possible that people are still just using it to, write some basic content for social, or, rewrite an email, or write that annoying office speech that they have to give for the person that's leaving they don't really like,
Right. Well, and they don't understand how to write prompts, B, how to refine prompts, and C, how to take and break every project down into an AI first project, right? And that's I think that's why, and I kind of came to a similar place where you did, where I was like, oh, people are not as excited about this as I am, and they don't understand it. And I've talked to 150 people about it now, geniuses all over the world. So that's part of my job, is to evangelize and train and share the best practices.
I think it, like, a little bit talks to that point around relevance. Yeah. So often, we've worked hard to get to where we are in our careers. We've been through the trials and tribulations and the tests, and we get to this point, and then along comes this tool that kind of questions that relevance. I think that's a big driver in the ignoring it. I mean, we're talking about different generations here. One of the other big challenges is university graduates. Yeah. Because at university, many universities, not all, there's still this attitude that using ChatGPT or other AI tools is cheating. And when those graduates go into a job interview, and the interviewer says to them, so tell me, do you use AI? Their instinctive response is to say no. Why would I want to admit that I cheated in my, in my course? But the employer is looking for competitive advantage. So I think nothing better illustrates the mindset shift that we need to take than that example. It's probably the same thing for some senior marketers out there, and definitely some senior creatives out there who have, it's their gut, their intuition, their critical thinking, all these things that they've learned through often through error, but often through success. And so, it can be quite confronting when this tool comes along and says, I mean, we're talking about deep research, right? This is just phenomenal. I mean, Sam Altman last week tweeted that deep research alone has the potential, I'm going to misquote it, so I'll share it afterwards, but along the lines of that it's his approximate vibe that it could produce, take care of a single digit of the world's productive output, like $1 trillion, right? So, that single tool moved us to 101% of human capacity. And all you need to do is play with this. And by the way, Gemini has a great deep research tool as well. Play with this for one project, and your mind's blown.
Right. And it's the same. And for me, I had that with Perplexity and the research that I was doing on Perplexity, right?
Yep.
Being able to do market studies, for instance, or pricing studies, and then or trends. Like, you just can't beat it. And then it's got all the citations right there, so you can click through and get as nerdy as you want on sources. So, and the deep research and then the custom GPTs that we're able to build from that deep research, and it is these are a powerful Encyclopedia Britannicas that we're building for our brands and our businesses if we're doing it right.
You got one of them on your shelf?
No, but I remember how exciting it was when I was about 10 years old. We got the first encyclopedias, and my parents did like the 6 payment plan, but we got all the books all at once, and sitting on the couch with my dad looking up Neo-Paleolithic humans and learning. same things that we have at our disposal now, which is
yeah, it's
powerful.
crazy, isn't it? And then once you bought the set, you'd get the update book every year. You go
Right.
check in the
Yeah.
update because something that uh,
And how expansive that was, but how limited it was at the
yeah,
same time, right? And so we don't have those limits anymore.
incredible.
I would really love to hear about one or two of the deployments that you've had with some clients, and just see how people are actually using this inside their businesses, small and medium sized businesses.
Yeah. So, look, one of my earlier case studies is still one of my favorites. Financial services company comes along to me. We've done some introductory ChatGPT coaching. But then the marketing director says, hey, we're about to launch our new website. It's a pretty big project internally. We've engaged, insert big agency name here. We've engaged big agency, but we need to produce the content. And
nice.
We've got a separate content agency that we're sort of talking to, but the team are pretty excited about this one. So we went in, I designed a workshop with them. We did a one-day workshop where we built prompts around the user journey, around the SEO content, around all the elements that you need to be a great content producer. And we're talking about 9 senior marketers who have been through their career, who had, every 3 or 4 years, you get this opportunity where a company completely rebuilds its website. And along comes this amazing project. And what happens normally to you as a marketer? You become meat in the sandwich between internal stakeholders, right? And an external agency who sort of gets it, but you're rewriting this stuff anyway, right? And not all, but and what happened here, the most exciting bit. Now they saved 6 figures, the company, and they're able to use that to produce all the rich content. When you start the process, you always have this dream wish list, and you kind of run out of budget, and you never get to do the bits that actually differentiate you. So they got to do that bit, but really for me, the highlight was seeing those 9 marketers actually get to produce the work that they love and they were most passionate about.
Powerful. And plus you're capturing the black box of 9 marketing geniuses that you would never be able to see otherwise, right? In those prompts.
It's so, and then also in an ongoing sense that like the team are empowered to go on and make those changes because they went through the project themselves. So like for me, that's one of the most exciting things, because I'm always looking, as I said before, like how do we get the robots to elevate the humans? And these were humans who had done that process before a couple of times in their career, needed to maybe fill some gaps, needed to have that confidence that ChatGPT can bring, and as a result of that, their role became elevated and they did work that they loved.
No, that's awesome. What sort of things do you have coming up, or that you're dreaming about right now in terms of trainings and deployments?
Yeah, look, late last year I started a program called the AI Powered Marketer. It's a 3-day deep dive, and one of the things that I saw for senior marketers is that they want to get on board with this stuff as kind of quickly as possible, and therefore an immersion can be really handy to build that muscle memory over the course of a couple of days. There's we dabbled on it a bit here. Like, do we use Copilot? Do we use Perplexity? What are all these tools? It's like, somebody just tell me, the first tool, and then what are the next 5 tools, and then what are the 10 that I need to use, so that I don't go out there. And look, you and I probably spent weekends down rabbit holes on random tools that we'd never touch again,
and thousands of dollars in trials.
My credit card statement looks like it's been at the shooting range, with all the subscriptions for things I forgot about.
Terrible. Yeah, exactly.
So they want that clarity, they want that immersion so they can learn it fast. They want that clarity around which tools and how, and then they want to be able to apply it immediately to show that ROI when they head back in the business. So what we do is we do a rapid upskill in ChatGPT, which, by the way, I'm still going to say is the leading of the LLMs for marketers. Like, Copilot's good. It's great if you're doing a range review to be able to refer to your other range reviews, that sort of stuff. Gemini's great, but ChatGPT just has the most flexibility and the most configurability as well to do what you want to do. So we teach rapidly upskill in that, and then in the second part, in day 2, we basically go through every step of the marketing plan. From SWOT analysis to marketing objectives through to key messages, target audiences, all that kind of every step of the process to build out a full marketing plan in a day. Now, often in big corporates, that's a 3-4 month process. And one of the outcomes that we see often with big multi-brand companies, instead of having one marketing plan as a result of it, they go back into their businesses, and each sub-brand for each sub-market has its own marketing plan. So the concept of making 27 marketing plans before
would never do it.
Pain, torture beyond belief. But now it's totally possible. And I think that's one of the biggest things people take out of this, like personalization. Like even, and I'll give this example here in Australia, more than 50% of households speak a language other than English. Yet most of the marketing we see is in English, and it's and because if you've got to pick a market, well, I guess it's the biggest part of the market. But now that ability to personalize down to different markets, and it's not just translating, it's understanding the cultural nuances of what it means to each different community and stuff like that. I mean, it's beautiful. And that is real ROI, because you can go and launch a landing page in a different language, dressing someone else, seed it out into that community, and you can very deliberately see what those results are going to be. So that 3-day program really allows them to step back into their business. And day 3, we touch on some of the other tools, even to produce some of the content, whether that be video editing or a bit of image generation and presentation stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I love it, because you've got the building blocks there for the software that we all want, right? Which is put in your target market at the top and get out the marketing plan at the bottom.
Yeah, well, it's getting closer. I mean, I think like that leads on nicely into 2025 is the year of the agents. Yeah, and deep research is the first example of seeing what an agent can look like, right? Because you come to it and say, hey, I need to do a go-to-market launch plan for this product into China. Tell me each region that it's going to, what the differentiators are, or any of these sorts of things. And it's going to go off and develop a research plan and then do the work. So there are other parts of our marketing process. Like if we take an inbound inquiry, from our website, how can we get it to, before it logs that in HubSpot, how can we get it to enrich that data with a Google search and look at that person's past 3 LinkedIn posts, those sorts of things. So we're definitely in the year of the agent, and we're getting closer to having that ability to get work done while we're asleep.
No, I love that, and I agree with you. I mean, obviously, there's a big marketing push from the agentic AI softwares for it, but we've reached a point in the learning where the agents can be valuable to us, and we have enough low code, no code tools to connect all these things through Zap and Make and other services like them, and then being able to run AI agents both in series and in parallel to be able to get stuff that what you and I would do as professionals and do this research, and literally it's done almost from what looks like to me instantaneously, right? In milliseconds, some of it, things that would take hours before. So there's going to be free time, and my prayer for humanity is that we take the free time from this, not to go back and do more work, but to get out and write poetry and go for a hike and play the flute.
Just thinking back to one other thing you said there around software. I heard Satya Nadella say a couple of weeks ago, the CEO of Microsoft, say that maybe we're coming to the end of the SaaS era. He talked about having that ultimate piece of software, right? Like the idea of SaaS being that we would organize our information in a certain way so that we could query it in a certain way and get the info we need. But now we know we can have data sitting in disparate data sets on different servers in different ways, and all we need is that prompt line, and we can get those responses out. So absolutely, in that sense, marketers can have access to the information that they want in the way that they want instantaneously, if they know how to use these tools and write a really great prompt.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Justin, I find the work that you're doing very inspiring, and I love how you're helping people. So thanks for that. if people want to talk to you, get in touch with you, do some work with you, how do they?
Sure.
Do
Best
that?
way, head over to justinkabbani.com. If you're a senior marketer, you've kind of been sitting on the sidelines, you've been watching, and you're ready to pounce. These 3 days will take you there, and I'm going to also be doing an online version at international hours coming up shortly. So if people just jump on and share their details, I'll make sure to let them know when it's coming down the line.
Okay, awesome. Well, that is going to be good. You will go international at that point, right?
Yeah, well, I've been it's always the way you build your networks very quickly globally, especially well, down here in Australia, we got to connect out with the rest of the world. Otherwise, we get real lonely down here,
That's right. I saw that map where it's like that. There's like 6 dots where there's people, and the rest of it's just empty space.
Yep.
Well, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much for sharing it, and we'll get you on the list to have you on again in 4 or 5
Brilliant.
months.
All right. Thank you again as well. Thanks for the great work you're doing, sharing the information, and you've been speaking to some amazing guests. So here's Emmanuel.
All right. Thanks, Justin. All right. Well, have a good day with your kids. Talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.